Following on from this year's E3, there are a whole host of games to look forward to before the end of 2014, and with slim pickings for new titles on both consoles, these games are so desperately needed to give that new box under your TV something to do. So with that in mind, here are our choice games to pick up for the latest crop of consoles. First up is Bungie's hugely anticipated Destiny. After the brilliant beta test earlier this year, it's left PS4 and Xbox One owners hungry for more, and with a release date of the 9th of September, there isn't long to wait now. The game puts you in charge of a guardian of the last city on Earth, able to wield incredible power with weapons to match. You embark on an epic adventure with storytelling we've come to know and love from Bungie. You can venture out alone or join up with friends, and personalise and upgrade every aspect of how you look and fight with armour and weapons. With such a rich multiplayer element that you can dip in and out of, it made the beta one of the most enjoyable gaming experiences this year, and we can't wait to get our teeth into the full title. Next up is Ubisoft's fourth instalment of their Far Cry series. Following on from the basic principle of the previous titles, it now puts you in an open world hidden in the towering Himalayas in a place called Karat, a country steeped in tradition and violence. You play as AJ, a man travelling to Karat to fulfill your mother's dying wish, but like every action story, it doesn't go to plan, and you find yourself caught up in a civil war to overthrow the oppressive regime of dictator Pagan Min. With new weapons, animals and vehicles, you can explore and navigate this vast open world at your own pace, and with more possibilities than ever before. This looks set to not only be one of the best first-person shooters of 2014, but the best open world game as well. But if you're after a bit of horror in time for this Halloween, you definitely can't go wrong with The Evil Within. Brought to you from the same man that made the gaming horror classics Resident Evil 4 and Shadows of the Damned, it promises to be one of the most terrifying games ever made. You play as a detective, and while investigating the scene of a gruesome mass murder, and after seeing the slaughter of fellow officers, you're ambushed and knocked unconscious. When you awake, you find yourself in a deranged world where hideous creatures wander among the dead. Facing this unimaginable terror and fighting for survival, you embark on a frightening journey to unravel what's behind this evil, and with some terrifying results. If this captures any of the magic of the likes of Resident Evil 4 or Shadows of the Damned, we know this is going to be an instant but yet terrifying classic. And it might seem that the PS4 and Xbox One are getting the lion's share of titles during this peak gaming season, but Nintendo's Wii U isn't without its own killer title, and that title is Super Smash Bros. Nintendo favourites are all back to fight with, alongside some new faces, and just like the previous titles, up to 4 players can battle each other locally or online, for the first time in full HD. Even if this is just a fraction as addictive as the previous titles, this will be a sure classic. And finally, it might come as a surprise that an Alien game makes it into our list, because let's face it, pretty much all of them to date have been pretty naff, but Alien Isolation looks set to change this. It follows on from the first film, where you play as the daughter of Ellen Ripley, who's trying to find her mother, but of course stumbles across an alien instead. And rather than following the first-person shooter theme that previous titles have gone for, Isolation goes down the survival horror route where you have to avoid the alien at all costs. With some brilliant thematic links to the original film, this looks set not only to be an original and terrifying title, but a fantastic complement to the first film. And as a bonus, if you pre-order the game, you can actually play as Ellen Ripley and co in a bonus mission. We have high hopes this will finally end the Alien video game curse, and bring us a title the franchise deserves.
This plan is crazy. Some kind of suicide.